and welcome to my channel, and this video is titled Involved with a Narcissist. Would you want to know? Now, story time. So I would want someone to tell me whenever I was involved with narcissist number one and I knew something was not right. I knew in my gut, I knew in my soul, like something wasn't right. Like, he's cheating on me. I know it. And I would ask him multiple times. Watch all the videos. But I would bring it up multiple times. Just like, are you cheating on me? Are you not happy? Like, what's going on? And nothing, right? So it wasn't until Valentine's Day 2020 video that I went through and saw everything. And then even after that, for probably 2.5 years or so, it was the cycle of, and I did videos on all of this. First him, cussing me out, calling me every name in the book. It's my fault that he does this. Then it's, I'm so sorry. If you really want this relationship to work, you have to trust me, Lee. You have to trust me and know that what I am saying to you is the truth. If we don't have trust, we don't have anything. And while this boy was pouring his heart out, still lying to me about everything. And I look back on it, and during the whole time, I wish someone would have come to me. And the crazy thing is, one of the girls that he was doing whatever with, she and I were, I don't know if you would say friends, but we were co-workers at one point. And we also hung out outside of work. I did a video on this as well. And then after she left where we were working at, I just kind of ended the friendship. And it really is true. People do outgrow people. And she was a drunk. Probably still is, just a drunk. I would pick up shifts, all of her shifts, because she didn't want to work. And I like money. So yeah, I'll pick up your shifts. Just a disgusting drunk. This is a girl that also, when he and I were living together, he took her to a baseball game. He was singing the national anthem. So he took her with his kids to a Rays game. You take a drunk around your kids? Well, birds of a feather. So she and I were, I guess, friends, acquaintance, or whatever you want to call it. But I wish she would have come to me and said, Haley, I think you should know this. Who knows if it would have swayed my dealing with him? Hindsight is always 20/20. I obviously knew in my heart and soul something was not right. I guess I just really wanted confirmation on it. And since he wouldn't say anything until I had to catch him, and even then still denying it, I look back at that and I'm like, if somebody were to come to me and just be like, hey girl, I think you should know what's going on. It might have, kind of sealed the nail in the coffin then and, said, okay, I'm done. We'll never know. But if I were to have that information, things might have been different. So here we go with story time. So this is Pizza Boy. And watch the handful of recent videos with that. So, yes, he and I still involved, or still talking, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever you want to call it. And I thought, okay, I had this bright idea that I was going to get my lick back with this guy, right? I was going to get my lick back. How? Delusion. And all of my friends were like, Lee, this is the worst idea you've ever had. And I'm like, no, hear me out. So what I had planned on doing was hurting this guy the way he hurt me. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, guys don't have feelings. This guy definitely doesn't. This guy definitely doesn't. He doesn't have feelings, no emotion. So how can I hurt something that isn't even there? Okay, well, I can't do that, but I can hurt his ego. That's one thing you can do. I mean, these narcissists don't have feelings, but you can bruise their ego. So I had this huge elaborate plan, right? That I was going to hurt this guy, whatever. And then the more that I'm like trying to do this, whatever plan I have in my head, I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I even wasting my time with this guy? Like, I don't even want to be around him. I don't even want to make plans to even be around this guy. Like, the more that I think about it, he just absolutely disgusts me. Like, you are an awful human being. Like, your true, I don't know if his true colors are coming out or if they've always been out. And I'm just finally taking the rose-colored glasses off and I'm like, no. So one thing, you know, that I have talked about previously is he was playing both sides, you know, soon to be ex-wife number 2, from what I've heard and gathered is, you know, this is the last straw. She's done. She's done with the 12 years of going back and forth and cheating and lying and everything else, right? So she's done. And while it was all fun and games when he and I were talking, as soon as he realized that this is serious, oh, now things are an issue, right? So now, I mean, he wants to still have his cake and eat it too, right? He still wants to have his little fun, but also, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm never going to do this again. I don't know what I was thinking, and I'm sorry, and I'm trying to make it right. Like, it's crazy, right? Because as I was in her position with narcissist number 1, I'm hearing all these things because I'm telling you, having an outsider look in, like whenever you go to your friends or your therapist and you're telling them what's going on and they have a clear, I don't know, explanation of how things are, how you can handle things. I mean, it's crazy because I am looking at this. I lived it. And I'm like, oh my God, these textbook narcissists, they're all the same. So while I was blocked on his phone, yet we would still communicate through Instagram. Oh, watch all the other videos. Doing everything, all the perks of a relationship, you know, without the title or responsibility. I mean, just this man, can't even call him that. This boy, definitely leading a double life. And I mean, I guess it is easier when you know, have your own place. You're not in the same house with your ex-wife, soon to, whatever it is. I guess it is easier to live a double life when you have your own little place, right? So while he's leading one life with me, he's telling her, oh, please give me another chance. I'm so sorry. What can I do to make things right? And I'm like, so I finally saw something he posted on his story. And I'm like, this poor girl. Okay. Like I said, I know her. We're not like best friends or anything, but I know her. Know of her. I've, you know, met her quite a few times. Nice girl. And I'm like, you know what? She needs to know what's going on. She definitely needs to know. I mean, what she does with this information, who knows, right? But I need to do my good deed because I would want someone to tell me. I would definitely want someone to tell me. And I mean, obviously, I don't know what their dynamic is. Just from somebody on the outside looking in, I mean, obviously, they love the dynamic of fight and get back together. I mean, she got with him whenever he was still married to wife number 1. And either wife number 1 was about to have the baby or did have the baby. I mean, so obviously it's a pattern with this guy. You get married, you have a kid, you cheat. I mean, he's done this twice in a row. So, I mean, obviously it's a pattern. So it's like, I can't feel too bad for this girl because, you know, look at how you two got together. But regardless, I mean, I've been in her position. I relate to her definitely. So I don't know if she knows, okay, yeah, he is telling me a bunch of BS or, oh, maybe it is going to be different this time. I don't know. But I would want someone to tell me. So I did reach out to this girl. And I didn't reach out to her like to, you know, carry on a conversation or to go back and forth. Like none of that. It wasn't disrespectful at all. I was just like, hey, I'm like, before you give Pizza Boy I used his government name, not Pizza Boy, even though she would know who I'm talking about. Like, before you give him another chance, you need to know what's been going on. Because he's telling you one thing and doing something completely different. You thought Lee was out of the picture because he told you she was? Honey, far from it. No. He blocked her on his phone to make it look like he wasn't involved with her. But no. I mean, I went and said everything. I was over there at the Airbnbs. I was over there at when he got his permanent spot. There almost every night. I mean, just this man leading this double life, basically. And yes, I was in complete denial about everything. Or maybe I did know, and I just didn't want to believe it. I mean, like I said, rose-colored glasses. Yeah. But, I said, before you give this guy another chance, you need to know what's going on. And I'm not speaking to him anymore because obviously he is playing me and playing you. But because I'm not speaking to him anymore, that doesn't mean that there will be someone else if there's not already. And she didn't say anything back, which, hey, I wasn't expecting anything, but I would want to know. And all of my friends were like, whatever she does with this information afterwards is, it's out of your control. And I mean, a lot of the times when you do go and you say something, well, I do believe that it's how you present it. And, I was not ratchet with this girl in any way. I mean, I don't have a problem with her, and also it's not like I'm pulling this out of thin air. This guy has a history of just not being a good guy. And, what these women do with this information, who knows? Because 9 times out of 10, they still stay. And the cycle continues and the cycle continues. I mean, I thought about it for a while of should I say anything to her? And then once I saw this little story that he posted on Instagram, I'm like, you're making a fool out of this poor girl. Like seriously. So I did my good deed, I would want to know. I would want someone to tell me, and it might have swayed my decision making. So should you say something? I think you should. Absolutely. Because, if you were going through the same situation, would you want to know? So thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like this content, please consider subscribing. Thanks, guys. See ya.